Cloud. Welcome to the No More Ghosts podcast with your host, Jeannie Marie. If you've ever thrown your resume into an online job portal and felt like you've had better luck tossing it into the ocean, you're not alone. Today, we're talking about why your dream hotel job keeps disappearing into the digital black hole and what happens when actual humans get in between you and your next role. I'm Jeannie Marie. This is No More Ghosts. And I'm sitting down with hospitality legend Arte Nathan, co founder of hospitalitymatches.com, the platform that said no thanks to faceless job boards and brought live recruiters back into the game. If you're a candidate who's tired of ghosting, generic rejection emails, and filling out the same form 47 times, stay tuned. Arte, welcome to No More Ghosts. I feel
Whoa.
like this conversation is long overdue.
Yes, it is. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Gene.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we are so excited about hospitalitymatches.com where there are no more ghosts. Let's start with the obvious. You could have just built another upload your resume and maybe a robot will call you site. Instead, hospitalitymatches.com went the opposite direction. Real recruiters, real conversations, real matches. But before we go there, we need to hear your origin story. For people who don't know you yet, who is Arte Nathan in the world of hospitality?
Well, I'm a guy that got the job of a lifetime. I was hired by the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City, a casino hotel. I've never been in a casino before. And I was head of human resources. And I was there, and then I got transferred to Las Vegas to open the Mirage, the groundbreaking hotel there. And I opened Treasure Island and Bellagio and Wynn Las Vegas and Wynn Encore. And then I went to China and opened Wynn Macau and Encore Macau. And then in Mississippi, I did the same for Beau Rivage. So in my 25 years working for those companies, all owned by the same guy, we had 3 million plus resumes. So I know what it feels like to have too many resumes and how do I go through them? And that always bothered me. And back when I was in the business, there weren't computers. Technology didn't exist. There weren't job boards. They were just starting to come out as I was getting ready to retire. And I didn't have advantage of those, but I've watched my friends deal with these job boards, and it's no different than my 3 million applications. You you got to deal with them. Now, I'm a guy that knows how to deal with resumes. I can go through a resume very quickly and put the right ones in the good pile and the right ones in the I gotta reassign these to somebody, some other position. So I'm good at that. All right. And my friends and I, who are all in the recruiting business, just decided we were going to do something better. Finally, nobody did it. We thought somebody could or should have, but we did it. And that's hospitality matches.
We are so psyched for that. Okay. Because if you're listening, you've seen every version of We're Hiring from paper applications to the black hole portal. And these guys, they believe that humans do this better than algorithms. All right. So let's talk about why job searching sucks. Okay, let's call it like it is because most hospitality job sites are soul sucking. So, Artie, from your point of view, what's broken about the way candidates and employers are trying to find each other today?
People are they're over the moon about technology. They think technology can do anything. But when you post your resume on a job board, it was here. It just goes into a big bucket. And no amount of technology or gadgetry is going to be able to deal with that as well as a human. So we felt that. Now, the other problem with the job boards is what it does is it puts them all in here and then it just dumps them out. And what you end up with is a pile of, where are they? A pile of resumes on your desk. And the poor recruiter, and I've been one, so I know that poor recruiter's going, what do I do? What am I supposed to do with all of these? It's just more time. Now, if technology could have sorted all of these down to the right ones, then I'd say that's perfect. But I don't see that happening. And so what we said is we're gonna take the resumes online because that's the easiest way to post your resume. We understand that. And then instead of an algorithm, and we've got AI built in that might take 100 down to 60 because they haven't had the job that they're applying for. But then again, sometimes people who haven't had that job could be very good with it. So we
Mhm.
are hiring live recruiters to, in the background, go through these one by one and put the good ones in the good pile and the bad ones in the they got to go someplace else pile. We're going to call and talk to all the good ones, a live human being calling you back and saying, "Hey, let's talk about it. What are your dreams and your hopes? What are the needs here and how do we make a match?" And my job in hospitality matches is to come up with the best 3, 4, or 5 in the big group and send those to the recruiter. Now the recruiter has a manageable job ahead of them. They've got couple that they interview and they decide who's the best specifically for that job, that culture, that boss that's going to hire them. And if they can get two or three or four or five instead of 40, 100 or 200, their job just gets so much better. And that's the basis of hospitality matches. A live recruiter working with a little AI, but a live recruiter calling the job seeker back and answering questions and giving advice and helping them to understand how to position themselves. Now,
I mean, for real, like I always talk to, as you know, I'm a professor and I always talk to my students about this. Like, I don't care how good AI is or how good the technology is, there are humans behind it that are driving it.
that's right.
So, why haven't people figured this out? Like, why is this still existing, right? I mean, candidates tell me all the time, I applied to 30 jobs and heard back from no one. What is really happening, Artie, behind the scenes when they go through these platforms? What is going on?
But what's going on today is AI. What was going on yesterday was algorithms. Both of them are not as astute as somebody who's been in the hospitality business, in the recruiting game in the hospitality business, and knows what works and what doesn't work. That's one problem. This another problem is that people develop their own resumes, all kinds of formats, their own thoughts, and many of them are 3, 4, and 5 pages long. As a recruiter, I say, I want one clear page of what you've done. And you don't have to put 4 or 5 bullets under every job. I was a front desk clerk, and I tell you all the things I did I know what a front desk clerk does. The hiring manager does. All right. So basically, I'm saying first problem, fix the resume. Hospitality matches, you send us a resume. We're going to review it with you. We're going to give you recommendations how to make it the best resume for catching a recruiter's eye. All right. Whatever it is, we're going to make sure it is. That's problem one. Secondly, with AI today or the algorithms yesterday, again, it was just dumping so many resumes on the poor recruiter's desk that how do I get through all of these and all the jobs I'm hiring? What am I supposed to do? Technology should help you. It shouldn't make things harder. We're trying to make it help you get the right person in the right job in the shortest amount of time.
Okay. So basically, just to recap, the black hole is real. Okay. It's not personal, it's just badly designed. And then from the employer side, right? So hospitalitymatches.com is caters to the candidates, but also it helps the employers narrow down. How do they do that? How does hospitality matches help from
We
the
take
employer side and the employer pain?
we take all of these and we reduce it to this many. All right. And that's the ones we send to the recruiter. Now, if the recruiter says, man, that's not perfect, okay, we'll send you 3 more. We don't care. but it's our opinion of who are the best people. And we're live people talking to the recruiters, understanding the company culture and what works and what doesn't work there. And as old recruiters, we all understand that a match has to be a real good match. It's not just because you have the right skills, you have to have the right attitude. You have to have the right personality, especially in the service business where you're taking care of customers. So we can understand that and apply that. And I can tell you, it's very hard to have a machine do that. Even the best machines today still aren't really good at this multi level consideration of what's good and what isn't so good for this specific job and hiring manager. And that's what we
Yeah,
do.
it's emotional intelligence. I mean, the robots can't really read emotional intelligence at this point.
Nope, no, they cannot. And look, I've hired 125,000 people. I know
Oh my God.
what it feels like to talk to people. And if it's not quite right, I don't want to waste my time or theirs. So
So
we're
why should the candidates trust hospitalitymatches.com though? Like why would they go there versus another site?
well,
What makes you different than the black hole sites?
first off, it's live people. Secondly, it's live people who have worked in the hospitality business, hiring managers and supervisors, all of us for more than 20 plus years each. So
That's serious.
we've got experience in this. And I think the worst thing that happens when you post your resume is you don't hear from anybody. And people are hopeful. They want to make a connection with somebody. They want some advice. They want to get some straight feedback. That's what we're going to give them, both the job seeker and the recruiter.
Okay, awesome. So instead of upload and pray, it's more like talk to someone who actually knows the industry and can say, you'd be a perfect fit for this GM who hates corporate robots and loves creative leaders. So, Artie, what I'd like to hear is can you walk us through the journey of a candidate? I'm a front of house manager who's burned out where I am. I land on hospitalitymatches.com. What happens next?
If you're a hiring manager and you post a job for us to post out there in the world, we're going to call you and talk to you about the job, but more importantly, we're going to talk to you about you and the company culture and what you look for in the most successful people that are already working for you so that we have a good frame of reference. Then somebody posts their resume on hospitalitymatches.com. We call them right up. Who are you? What do you do? What do you like about what you do? What don't you like about what you do? What are you looking for in your next job? What are you not looking for in your next job or supervisor? What's the corporate culture that you feel best working in? Because those are the things that help solidify the match, not just make the match. All right. So we want to know everything about you. And then knowing the recruiter and knowing the job seeker, we can put that together appropriately, quickly, and get the job seeker's name in front of the company. And then sort of make the match there on that level, make sure they talk to each other, make sure that we talk to each of them. Well, how was that? What did you learn? What didn't you learn? What would you have liked to have learned? All right. So we can tighten it up a little bit. But again, that's what a human can do. That's really understanding the business. And making a match for hiring is really tricky. It's not just somebody's got 5 years experience and so I put them in the job. It's 5 years with the right attitude. Now, we may actually do some testing to make sure that the people are optimistic and flexible and you know and resilient and have a lot of grit. We've used those kinds of assessments in the past because we know that hospitality managers, that's what they're looking for in their candidates. And so we can help the candidate better understand what those things are, how you exhibit yourself relative to those things. And again, we're there, live people working together to get people together appropriately.
Okay, it just sounds too good to be true, but What an awesome solution, right? If I'm listening to this and I'm hearing like, oh my God, there's actually going to be someone's going to respond to me. And that's a
That's
big commitment on your end, right?
that's that's first. But we're gonna have hundreds of recruiters. We don't get we're gonna scale up. We're not gonna have two recruiters trying to get back to 10,000 people, because that just doesn't work. But again, you've got to have a human calling you back, not a robot. I left out, you said, what's the journey? Don't forget in there, we're going to look at the job seeker's resume and we're going to say, let's tighten this up. Let's make it so when a recruiter looks at this, they go, okay, I know what I've got. I know what I see here. This is what I want to look at. Because catching a recruiter's eye. Now, can you imagine if that recruiter had 100 resumes? They, Something's got to jump out so it'll catch their eye. And we're going to make sure whether they have two or five, these are the right ones. And when somebody looks at that resume, they go, yep, I want to talk to this person. That's the key.
That's pure gold. Okay, that's pure gold, and that human touch makes a difference today.
Yeah.
The technology is robust, but the human touch, I agree 100%, it's going to make the difference. If you had to describe hospitality matches in one line, bold line, how would you describe it?
Hospitality experienced or experienced hospitality recruiters working for you to make
Awesome.
sure the right person gets the right job.
Love that. Love that. Can't wait to get the word out. So I know one of the things we want to do with the show is to make it like a weekly playbook for candidates. So you're you're the resident expert. You are the legend, legendary, like Bugsy Malone. That's you, Artie Nathan. Building casinos, all right, and communities. Building casino communities. So let's give our listeners something like tactical. What is the number one mistake hospitality candidates are making on LinkedIn or in their resumes right now, from your perspective?
Throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. You got to be more strategic about what are your strengths and weaknesses. What does the job call for? All right, and making sure that you're applying for the jobs that you are appropriately experienced in. That's one. Secondly, they got to make sure that that resume, which is really the first page, that's the kickoff. Before a hiring manager is ever going to talk to anybody, they're going to look at that resume, just like I am. And so I want to make sure that those resumes absolutely are the right kind of resumes to catch the recruiter's eye. And we know in different jobs the things you have to stress. We know structurally how long it should be. And we know the elements that have to be in there that a manager would say, it doesn't have something's left out there. We'll make sure that all of that is in there. And then we will talk to people and make sure that this whole person, and all of their hopes and dreams and style and personality fits the needs and the expectations and the hopes of the hiring manager's hopes and dreams and style and personality and what fits with me. And if we can help make that match, uh, that that makes us feel good. This is a fun job for recruiters. Now, yeah, I was head of human resources, all the different parts of human resources, but I got to tell you, helping somebody get the right job really feels good.
It's paying it forward. And even now, you've done so much in so many communities building these casinos and companies. And the fact that you're doing this now is just thank you so much for, still contributing to our world. We appreciate you, Artie.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
do. So, and this is exactly the kind of real talk that the industry needs. So thank you for that. So Artie has a way of just like putting it out there, bottom lining it. And that's what you need, like real talk, real recruiters. No BS, no black holes, no more ghosts. So, Artie, how do people that are listening get in touch with hospitalitymatches.com and feel the love?
Well, it's easy. It may not seem like it's easy, but go to hospitalitymatches.com, and upload your resume. And then judge us after that. We'll call you. If we don't call you, say, another bunch of dummies out there. But if you get a call back from a recruitment board, not a job board, but a recruitment board with a live person, I think that's a game changer right there. That in itself is the game changer.
Okay. So if you're a candidate, head to hospitalitymatches.com and start the conversation. If you're an employer, especially if you're losing sleep over open roles, you can connect with Artie and the team there too. You can also connect on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Follow us. Okay. Send this episode to your friends who are stuck in their jobs. And we'll be back every week on No More Ghosts with Artie breaking down best practices for resumes, interviews, salary talks, anything you need, all things jobs. No fluff, no jargon, no fake. We're like family job descriptions. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Artie, for being a part of this. I'm Jeannie Marie. This is No More Ghosts. We'll see you next week, preferably somewhere with good coffee and better staffing.